Hello guys, welcome back to another SSA video, and today we're going to be talking about how to prevent overstriding when you are running. Now, if you can smash subscribe, that really helps the channel out a lot. Also, check out our Facebook pages where you can find different training techniques. Also, check out our Facebook training page where we talk about training tips, training techniques, and also promote our Monday workouts. Guys, you can also check out our other SSA Facebook page, which is more about the athletics club based at Garrett's Athletics in Southend. Okay guys, so I've got a confession to make before we go. If you are a sprinter or you like to do sprinting, I'm sorry, but this video is not necessarily for you. Today we're focusing on the long distance guys. The guys who like to go out running forever. So practically anyone under 400 meters or 400 meters and below, this video is not for you. But you're more than welcome to stay and watch. When you find with running and when people overstride, you often find that they'll be running, going forward and kicking out with their leg, hitting their heel on the ground, often with a heel strike, acting like a brake towards their motion. Of course, that takes a lot of energy out of you, but also prevents you from running faster. The less energy we can spend, the more energy we can spend getting faster or go running for longer. Quite often, the overstriding element might be because they are literally kicking out at the end, placing their foot right out in front, almost like a sprinter, but instead of putting it underneath themselves, they're just throwing it out there. And that will slow you down because once you get the kick out, you then have to point your toes, and pointed toes aren't necessarily as quick. And also you're landing on your heel. Now, heel strikes aren't that bad when you roll on the foot and you roll forward. The problem is when you hit your heel on the ground, and if you're slamming it on the ground, which can be caused by overstriding, you're acting like you're putting a brake down on a pedal of a car. You're just going to slow yourself down between every stride. Now your heel automatically acts as a brake, and when we run, there's an automatic little braking force. Now we want to try and minimize that braking force as much as possible. Now sometimes that is often caused by having a weak core and weak hips or tight hips. And now if you have a weak core, what happens is we end up sitting back as we run. So you see people trying to run like this, and it's not elongating the stride, so therefore it makes you slower. You think about it, if you're trying to stride like that, the distance isn't so much. So that when we remain tall but relaxed, arms relaxed, and we bring our foot through, it's a much nicer, smoother, and quite frankly an easier action. But more importantly, it gets a longer stride. If you have a longer stride, you end up eating the ground more, meaning you run further with less energy, and therefore you run faster. When we try to run, the running action's a lot different than a sprint action. It's a much more rolling the foot through with your foot coming underneath you. This is the sprint boys want to bring it up as high as they can, explode, go through. Now, when it comes to running, we bring it through relaxed, come through, and we land underneath us. When people are overstriding, one way it could be is because they've got weak, as I mentioned before, weak hips, weak legs, and they're really trying to go through and they can't, and they end up going on their heels. Sometimes it forces you forward like so, which can cause back problems. So if you got that problem, one technique to do is to bring it through into the action like so. Rotating forward through and trying to build up cadence. But that can also be wrong for many people because the more leg strides you do, the more energy you burn. So therefore, potentially, you need to be pretty damn strong in order to manage that cadence as you go through. A lot of energy, a lot of impact, a lot of pounding. By being a little bit stronger, and if we just pick our feet up, and we can extend that stride length through. So if we look at the elite runners like Mo Farah, they bring up their ankles They pick their feet off the ground and they roll through their really long stride length, and they effectively cover the ground more. And that's one way they do to prevent overstriding. Now, they have really long legs, which is beneficial and really helps with that. Likewise, guys, that's the one technique I recommend to do, is that all they're doing is literally picking their feet up, rolling through and going, landing with the foot underneath themselves. Now that they've landed with the foot underneath themselves, they're able to recycle that stride length and keep it going. Slight forward lean through the action. Pick their feet up, slight forward lean, and off they go through. Basically, if you want to cover more ground, you bring your knees up higher, but we're not sprinting yet. We're still in that running action. So we rotate through over the calf, leaning forward, bringing the foot underneath ourselves, and as we run, and it's relaxed. Guys, I really hope that helped you how to prevent overstriding as a long distance runner. I'm Adam, and I will see you in the next one.